Fourth ever BC's Pro Wrestling Amplified podcast, where today we will be going over the entire 2019 WWE Extreme Rules card. Now, I'm hoping it doesn't put all of us into a state of depression, but if it does, have no fear. The Amplified Man has the cure. And it's a little segment in this podcast that I'm simply calling Cooking with the Amplified Man. Basically, if you ever wondered what it would be like if BC had his own Food Network show, you're going to find out in this very podcast. Because I'm going to show you guys how I, the Amplified Man himself, takes a regular frozen DiGiorno pizza and turns it into an amplified production. If you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, which you probably don't, stay tuned in this podcast. You will see what I am talking about. Because after I go over this complete Extreme Rules card, we're all gonna need something to have a little bit of fun with. Something to laugh at, something a little more lighthearted. Entertainment of some sort. Because I don't know if we can count on Extreme Rules in this card to do such. Now, usually I tell you guys the main reason I do a podcast type format show every week is so you guys can just pop in your earbuds and go about your daily activities, your errands, if you got to chase the kids around the house, if you got to go to the supermarket, or if you're just in the gym, you can listen to the Amplified Man for a full hour and not have to just sit down and watch me. Not like that's a crime either. I mean, if you got the time, watch the Amplified Man. I'm very animated, obviously, so I'm always a fun watch, but I'm biased because I'm myself. Alright, this is going weird, but anyway, back on track. I always tell you guys, listen to the Amplified Man if you have to. You don't have to watch me. However, when we get to this little cooking segment, you might want to take those earbuds out, go to your computer, or keep your fucking earbuds in, whatever you fucking do, but you might want to hit your computer or your phone or up on your television. You might want to watch what I got cooking, because I'm going to turn this frozen pizza into a fucking epic masterpiece. Can you tell I'm all excited about this fucking frozen pizza? It's probably has nothing to do with pro wrestling. It's probably going to be the highlight of the podcast. Before I get into the Extreme Rules card, you guys are like, what the fuck? This guy's just talking about a pizza for 3 minutes. It's my podcast, man. I'll talk about the fucking Yankees for an hour, and I'll lose all of ya. Fuck the Yankees, BC. Fuck your Packers, BC. Fuck Stranger Things, BC. This is a wrestling podcast. No, it's the Amplified podcast, motherfucker. We'll talk about pro wrestling and anything else that I want to talk about. Because it's my show. Alright, we've wasted enough time, though. Let's actually talk pro wrestling. Because that does happen to be my favorite subject. So can you tell I'm a little out there, man? Can you tell I might need a couple of coffees? We'll see if we can get through this together. So what I first want to talk about, guys, is, what do I want to talk about? Let's talk about Brandi Rhodes. I know. What the fuck? You're starting your podcast off with Brandi fucking Rhodes? But the thing with Brandi here is I'm just literally scrolling through a bunch of shit. I had about, I'm not going to lie, I had about 90 minutes, actually, between errands that I had to do. So I was scrolling through some shit. In my off time, and I came across this Brandi Rhodes 5-minute video on ITV, I believe it's called. And it was just titled how Brandi Rhodes, I don't even know the title, man. I don't want to bullshit you guys. It was something about how she's preparing for her Fight for the Fallen match, and how figure skating basically had something to do with her really taking this match so seriously, more seriously than anything she's done in her life, basically, aside from her new AEW role. And I'm like, why am I about to click on this? There's no reason for the Amplified Man to click on this video. Normally, I would just scroll right past that. That is not me. That's not my wheelhouse. I don't care about Brandi Rhodes talking about figure skating. But something compelled me to click on this son of a bitch. I also figured, hey, it's 5 fucking minutes. I got 90 minutes. Let's fucking give this a shot. In 10 seconds, if it's totally fucking treacherous, I'll just go on to the next vid. But in the first 20, 30 seconds, this thing was already starting to captivate me. It reminded me of one of those things you'd see, or segments that you'd see on like Real Sports on HBO or E60 on ESPN, where you go in depth in a character in a person's life. It's like a little mini documentary, or documenting a story or something that has happened. And they go in a roundabout way and they really start capturing a bunch of, or a lot of, said person's life. So it's revolving around one story, one segment, one topic. But this little segment gets in personal with the actual subject at hand. In this case, Brandi. If it's Real Sports, it would be a football player that maybe had the world at its fingertips, lost it all, and is making a comeback. Something like that. Or E60, a big college story. Just a feel-good story about an individual that overcame the odds. This reminded me of that. And it had a lot to do with Brandi Rhodes' failures in something she loved in figure skating. And now here she is trying something new in pro wrestling, and she's very outrightedly, or very forward, I should say, is a better way to put it. She's very forward in being honest to the core, honest to a fault, when she says, listen, I didn't take to this pro wrestling thing very quickly or very good. And I just don't feel that I'm very good and I'm up to par with anyone else. And I bust my ass and I train 23 out of 24 hours basically. And I didn't get it. And that's why I put it into even triple gear, is basically what she was saying. And I'm taking this match, I'm putting all my failures that I ever came across in my life, that I ever did to myself, because she put a lot of blame on herself. And she said, I'm putting that all together. And I'm obviously, guys, paraphrasing, but this is the gist of it. I'm putting all of those failures together, and this is going to be my moment. I am putting everything that I've ever trained for, all the effort, all the blood, sweat, and tears. I am going to go into this event, to this match with Allie, and I am going to give it everything I have and prove that I can do this, and that I am in everyone's league that said I was not, or that I couldn't do this. And it was a 5-minute piece that just captivated me. I mean, if I wasn't the Amplify Man, I probably would be reaching for a tissue. But I am, so I didn't. Watch it. But I really, really loved this, and I had to give that a shout out, and I have to tell all of you guys, if you didn't catch it, go or stay right here on the YouTube machine after this video, of course, and check it out. I believe that the channel is ITV, and you'll see Brandi Rhodes, and it'll be talking about her matchup for Fight for the Fallen. Fight of the Fallen. Whatever the fuck. People are fallen, and they're fighting. But you will see this, and it'll totally captivate you. I promise you. I know. Brandi, figure skating, overcoming odds. What the fuck? But trust me, it's really cool. And this leads me to what I really wanted to discuss, which is what I get asked a lot, and that is, BC, you talk about different formats for Raw and how it's stale and this and that, but what are some of the things you would do? Well, some of the things I would do, one of them is exactly what you will see in this Brandi Rhodes 5-minute video. It is something like that you would see on Real Sports on HBO, or something you would see in a segment for E60 on ESPN. It's when you get to get real and personal with the individual and let us know why. Let us in on why this means so much to you. Brandi comes out in that 5 minutes and she says, I failed at the best thing in my life. The most brightest spot in my life was when I showed up for figure skating meets, or training even. I loved being on that ice. But when the moment was at its biggest and it was heightened at the max, I always failed. And it was because of me. And it was because of what was going on in my own head. And now I'm trying this wrestling thing, and I just feel like I'm failing constantly because of me and being in my own head. But this weekend, at Fight for the Fallen, I am going to finally step up to the plate. I love that. You get to now know who the fuck would honestly be talking about Brandi and Allie this weekend. Nobody, right? But now, the Amplified man who's been watching this product for 30 years, or the business, I should say, WWE more specifically, 30 plus years, I wouldn't be talking about Brandi and Allie at some C-rated event, and that's no shade to AEW, but we all know that Double or Nothing was the A event. And then you had, what was just last week, guys? AEW put on the, what the fuck was it, man? It's over in Daytona. We'll be here all fucking, you guys know how I do this. I will be here all fucking day. I have a full hour. I will remember this, and we're not gonna cut. We're not gonna fucking, no, there's no cutting. We'll stay here in silence until I remember this. What the fuck was that event a couple weeks ago? I made a fucking review on it. Double or Nothing. And then they went into, Fighter Fest. Thank you. We would have seriously been here the whole hour. You think Vincent Kennedy is stubborn? You ain't seen the Amplified man when I know something for a fact and I just can't fucking click it in the dome piece. Fighter Fest. And then that was be right. So Double or Nothing was like their A event. That was legit pay-per-view. Then they went to Fighter Fest. That was a step below Double or Nothing. That was free for streaming, but it was kind of hyped up, some big matches. And then there's Fight for the Fallen, and that's more C-rated. That's even lower than Fighter Fest. Some damn good matches, but it's not really being pumped up to the likes of Double or Nothing or even Fighter Fest. Still a big event, though. But who would be talking about Brandi and Allie at Fight for the Fallen? Nobody, really. You gotta admit that. And now you see something like that. Now when you're watching this event and that match is coming on, you're kind of like, that's in your dome piece. That's planted there in your subconscious and front and center in the dome piece. And you're thinking, shit, man, she's got a lot riding on this. Like, you know her personal story now. And you're kind of rooting on for her. Like, this is huge, man. If she loses this, or if she just fucks up a few times, I mean, her psyche could be ruined forever. That's what that piece does for you. It adds a layer of intriguement. If that's a word, it is now. It's intriguing. And that matters to me. So what would I do to make Raw and SmackDown more special? I would add little segments like that. Real sports type segments. E60 type segments. Where you literally take a character, a person, and you document why something matters to them. What a big comeback is for an individual who's coming back from injury, maybe. A big fucking match and why it means so much to them. A feud. Best friends turning on each other. And why? Why did they do it? What does it mean to finally overcome the friction between the two? You could tell these type of stories and document everything in the process and do it all within 5 to 10 minutes. That could take Vince from commercial A to commercial B, and it's a good way to break up your programming. You don't have to always just go to Superstar versus Superstar wrestling match, 50-50 booked. Next up, 50-50 booked Superstar versus Superstar match. Next up, 50-50 booking Superstar versus Superstar match. Go backstage, quick little stupid interview. Backstage again, stupid comedy segment. Back to 50-50 booking Superstar versus Superstar. These Raws are redundant. SmackDowns may not seem as bad because they're only 2 hours, but trust me, they're not much better, usually. So you add in little things like that. That'll captivate an audience, man. Even those in attendance. It's 5 to 10 minutes. You see it up on the Titantron, and those in attendance will be invested into that. And if you only do it 1 or 2 times a show, hell, beggars won't be choosers. I'll ask for it 1 time every single 3-hour Raw to just get one superstar being documented in that type of way. That's how you build and create superstars, more importantly, or just as important, I should say. That's how you build intriguing feelings, emotions out of your audience. Make them care about the pay-per-view coming up. Brandi Rhodes does that 5-minute clip for ITV, and I'm intrigued for a Brandi Rhodes Alley match. More than most matches on this Extreme Rules card, I assure you. That's the power of good production. We know WWE has state-of-the-art production, best in the world, I'd say, when it comes to live entertainment. Nobody's near WWE's production. So use that to your advantage. Instead, it's like they gave up. They just have a stale show every single Monday and basically every Tuesday. Stale, redundant segment after stale, redundant segment. And you guys know the other thing I would do is jobber matches. At least 2 jobber matches every single show to really pump up your superstars. It just takes 2 minutes. The crowd's not going to be bored because you're going to see Dynamite, demolition. Demolishing is what you're going to see. Demolition. I can speak. Demolition. You're going to see absolute demolition, demolishing. People are going to be destroyed. If you see like the Viking Raiders taking on 2 jobbers, if you just let them destroy human beings, that's entertaining. People love to see people get destroyed. And while that 2-minute match is going on, whoever they're going to be facing at a pay-per-view upcoming, you have that team in the upper left or right corner, and you have them talking shit. And then the next week, maybe that team that was talking shit is now taking on jobbers, and the Viking Raiders are up in the corner. That's just one way to pump up your superstars and cement in the back of people's minds that when these 2 formidable teams clash at a pay-per-view, not just in the middle of a Raw so they could do it again the next week and everybody can be 50-50 booked. No, when they actually meet each other at the pay-per-view, the fan, even the casual fan, or should I say more importantly, the casual fan, is looking at these 2 teams and looking at them both like they're dynamite, explosive, and you don't know who's going to win this match because they haven't been 50-50 booked. They've been booked to look like monsters, because they beat the shit out of these jobbers in just 2 minutes. All their big power moves and looking like beasts, like superstars. Instead, Vince has these superstars take on other superstars every week on Raw and SmackDown, and it becomes not just redundant and stale, but they become 50-50 booked. And what that's doing is it's planting the seed subconsciously that these superstars aren't real winners. We're seeing them lose all the time. Only at pay-per-view should some of these superstars be losing the matches in that type of fashion. You really want to start building them up. 50-50 booking demolishes characters before they even get a go, before they even get a green light. They're halted. So that's what I would like to see. Jobber matches, just a couple a show, 2 minutes a pop, no harm, no foul. And it's entertaining as fuck. People are destroying human beings. It's much better than getting lackluster bullshit between 2 superstars with 3 commercial breaks in between. And then on top of that, I would love to see segments that really get us up close and in-depth personally with the superstars and take us on a journey, on a ride as to why we should give a shit about an upcoming match or your comeback or something that's very important to you in the business. Why should we care? You gotta make us give a shit. You gotta make us care. Those are some of the shit that I would like to see changed. And that's what I mean about flipping the formatting of Raws and SmackDowns. That's just a couple of them. We need 5 hours for me to tell you my whole list. And maybe in the future we'll do such. Moving on. That was a lot to take in, right? But I really wanted to praise that Brandi 5-minute documentary style segment that ITV put out. That's the type of shit you should be seeing when AEW comes on TV in October on TNT. I want to see that type of shit. They're going to have a 2-hour show we're hearing. 5 minutes. Document people like that. Make us care. That's a good way to promote. You guys don't know, or maybe you do know, AEW, just because they don't have a TV show, their matches for their pay-per-views are getting a lot of traction in Steam because a lot of people are watching their YouTube show and the segments that are being put out there, and they're carrying awesome storylines during these shows. The being the elite shows, and the road to the Fight for the Fallen, and the road to Double or Nothing, and road to Fyter Fest. They have like this awesome YouTube thing going in social media, and it's building storylines. Don't be afraid to take some of that type of shit when you put on your show in October. Put some of that formatting, put some of that production, put some of that substance onto your shows. It's entertaining as fuck. I understand some things work on social media and YouTube and on the internet, and maybe won't work so good on TV, that's the type of shit that will work on TV, I assure you. So, all right, it's an hour-long podcast. Relax. I can go long on any subject in all subjects. I can make this 2 hours if I want to. I'm sure I definitely need a coffee by then, but I could. All right, let's move on. So, we got some Braun Strowman news, but maybe I'll just go over that when we get to his match on this Extreme Rules card. So let's just go over that now so we can get to our pizza making process. And I can show you guys how we amplify a frozen pizza. Because obviously I'm more excited about that than going over this card. But it's a pro wrestling podcast, so let's do this. It is a 10-match card, I believe, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches. I'm guessing 1 or 2 will be on the kickoff show. Probably like your cruiserweights, like always. So there might only be 8 or 9 actual matches on the main show. We'll go over all of them real quick anyway. We'll start at the very top, or what could be the main event. It's only going to be, you got to figure Vince is going to have one of these 2 matches in the main event, and that's the winner-take-all match with Seth and Becky, or the Undertaker-Roman tag team match will be last. But one of them will probably be last, one of them will probably open the show, I'm guessing. Because they're both kind of these kind of crazy tag matches. So we'll start at the top and we'll just say Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. This is a winners take all match, just meaning that whoever wins the match for their respective team, both participants would become champions. So if Baron Corbin wins over Seth Rollins, then Lacey also gets the champion. Why does this matter? Does anybody really care? Nobody really thinks Lacey and Corbin are going to win this match. And why? Because that would be literally all of us watching in real time somebody, aka Vince McMahon, destroying, imploding his own company from within. Sabotaging his own company. We would all be witnessing that in real time if Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans win these titles. That would do nothing for the organization, and it would make everybody roll their eyes up to the back of their dome pieces in astonishment that a company can be that stupid, even though we shouldn't be shocked. There is no way that anybody with a brain in their dome piece could honestly sit down at this big creative table in Stamford, Connecticut and say, Baron and Lacey should win the straps. That'll shock everyone. Yeah, everybody would be like, what? It'll be like that time when Brock beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and we'll have Kevin Dunn get all the shots of the crowd, and everyone will be like, wow, Baron and Lacey. No, it's gonna be like, wow, what dumb fucks. I'm out of here. Philadelphia's just throwing their fucking beers to the side. They're just taking off, man. I can still catch the fucking Phillies game. I mean, come on, man. Nobody honestly expects Baron Corbin and Lacey because why the fuck would you give them championships? For what? All of Seth Rollins' title reign was for that? All of Becky Lynch's title reign from WrestleMania was for that? For a tag team match? To lose against Lacey? To lose against Baron? And that's what I mean. This match is a joke. Because we know one thing isn't going to happen because it shouldn't happen. And if that one thing that shouldn't happen does happen, we're all mind-boggled. Not in a good way. Not in a, oh, we're shocked. What a moment. It's just this company stoops to another lower level of stupidity. A level we never thought could be reached. But we shouldn't be shocked anymore because they keep reaching these new rock bottoms. Can you tell I'm passionate about this, the uselessness, the meaninglessness behind this mixed tag match? I mean, you put together an event called Extreme Rules, and one of your big matches is winner take all. What a stipulation. Wanna go pod racing? Stupid. Then we go into a WWE title match, Samoa Joe versus champion Kofi Kingston. Well, shit. Why do we care about this too? I can only think of 2 moments that this match is even happening, and that's the night after Samoa Joe dropped the championship to Ricochet. The very next night, he attacks Kofi from behind. And then he's gone for a week. And then last week on SmackDown, Kofi Kingston gives him the finger. Wow, we gotta see this match. Listen, if Samoa Joe was to win this championship, I don't understand. He drops a mid-card title a couple of weeks ago, and then he defeats Kofi for the main title. That's great for Samoa Joe. That doesn't say anything for Kofi Kingston. This whole title reign was to lose a weird... What's the word I want? Fast-tracked feud, can't even call it a feud, story, I guess, with Samoa Joe. It was fast-tracked and forced way too quick, man. We didn't have a chance to let this thing breathe out and really get invested into it. Just weird. There's no way I can see Joe winning this championship. And again, you guys know if you watch this channel religiously, I love Joe and I want to see him get these big wins. I'm always saying, Joe can't keep losing these big matches. And I'm not saying he should lose this cleanly either. I'm just saying him winning the title and Kofi going under in this match and dropping the strap, I don't see how any of this makes sense. You know, he just comes out and attacks Kofi a few weeks ago, and we're all thinking, all of us in the wrestling community are like, that's Joe's next feud. He dropped the mid-card title, and he's getting catapulted right to a WWE championship match? It just doesn't make sense. Kofi can't lose this, and I don't want to see Samoa Joe lose this. Just weird, awkward, forced, fast-tracked, done too quickly. Nothing was let to settle and breathe. We're not invested. And that's your WWE Championship title match. Next, we have a 2-on-1 handicap match for the SmackDown Women's title. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross taking on Bayley. It's Extreme Rules. So what's your next stipulation? A 2-on-1 match. Wow! Wanna go pod racing? How is that? That's extreme! And then again, it's probably going to be more extreme than Alexa Bliss versus Bayley 2 years ago at Extreme Rules. I call that the worst match I've ever seen in pro wrestling. It was supposed to be an Extreme Rules match. They took a kendo stick and they tapped each other on the back with it. Tag, you're it. Nah, Bayley, you're it. Alexa, get over here. You're it. They were touching each other like you would at 4 years old playing fucking tag. That was extreme. So what did Vince say? Hey, let's give it to him again, Alexa and Bayley 2 years later. And that's what we get. The only reason you see Nikki Cross in this match is because Alexa Bliss had some sort of long sinus infection. They don't even know if she's going to be able to make Extreme Rules. As of now, we do expect her to show up. We don't know in what capacity. We don't know how much action she's going to be in. But that's why they added Nikki Cross. Otherwise, we'd just be getting Alexa and Bayley again. 2 years after that horrible match at Extreme Rules 2017. Can you tell I'm not into this women's championship match? I've seen Alexa Bliss in a title match 195 times in her short little 5-year or less than 5-year main roster career. How about you give Ember Moon a fucking chance? Just a storyline. Just a storyline. How about you give Naomi just some TV time? That's not backstage. Or more than a 90-second match. No, we gotta have Alexa in there for the 195th time. She sells merchandise, BC. Go easy on Alexa. She's a superstar. Well, I would hope so. If you push somebody for 5 fucking years, they better sell some merchandise. People better fucking clap for them. I always get amazed by that. BC, Alexa's actually getting she gets a good pop. Well, 4 years, something like that, right? 4 or 5 fucking years on the main roster. Over 3 years, right? Whatever the fuck, man. If you put her year after year in all of these championship matches, are you surprised she sells some? If you take anybody and you push them to the moon, they're gonna sell and they're gonna get pops. Even Roman Reigns gets noise. That's what I get too. Roman Reigns gets a reaction, BC. Well, shit, after over 4 years of pushing him to the fucking moon, I would hope he gets a reaction. Fucking Hornswoggle would get a reaction if you made him your main eventer in every championship match for 4 years. Brett's, BC. Brett's. We still got the other half of the card to go, man. Actually, more than half. That was only fucking 3 matches. We got 7 more. That was only 3 matches I went to. I feel like I just went a half an hour on this card. WWE Cruiserweight title match. Tony Nese versus Drew Gulak. Do we care? I know. Some of you guys are like, yeah, BC, I love the Cruiserweights, man. They're going to put on a great match. That's great. Nobody's invested into Tony Nese and Drew Gulak. The same people that tell me, oh, BC, Ember doesn't really have a character that we can be invested into. Naomi doesn't really have a character, BC. What are you talking about? Tony Nese doesn't have a fucking character. Drew Gulak doesn't have a character. They play theme music and they all come down to the ring. One carbon copy after the other. NXT Performance Center is just producing like a mass assembly line pro wrestlers. Nobody's really standing out. You can tell me somebody doesn't have a character and then you'll go and root for somebody that even has less of a character. There's no more gold dust in pro wrestling today, or people like The Undertaker, or Razor Ramon. Those characters are gone, man. Now everyone just is lame. They don't put any story behind Tony Nese and Drew Gulak, or anything that we really care about, anything that really captivates us. But they can go out there and put on good moves. It's a wrestling match. Well, that's great. Pro wrestling needs to be more than just that. It needs to be larger than life characters with great stories to be told. Stories that have already been told to get us to the match, and stories during the match. And obviously, the great wrestling as well. But we need all aspects to come together and form this epic masterpiece we know and have come to know as pro wrestling. Otherwise, I can see great wrestling down the street at the local bingo hall between Danny Dipshit Dugenheimer and Billy Buttfuck McGee. WWE United States title match. AJ Styles versus Ricochet. This is one of 3 matches on that main show I think can really steal the spotlight. There's 3 good matches that if Vince gives them the time, these could really be awesome matches, man. Styles and Ricochet is one of them. And again, it goes back to why people aren't invested in Tony Nese and Drew Gulak. No fault of their own, maybe. WWE really hasn't given them anything, and they stuff them on Wednesdays or whatnot. But with AJ Styles and Ricochet, these are 2 superstars we all know and we all love. And we know what they're capable of, and we actually care a lot more. And you put them in there, and if Vince gives them 20 good minutes at least, bro, tearing the roof down. Or off. Of Philadelphia for sure. Who wins this match? Ricochet just got this belt a few weeks ago. Is Styles more than capable of beating Ricochet for the strap? No doubt. But is Ricochet's title run only meant to be 3 weeks? I don't know, man. For me, it's not so much the winner and loser of this match. I want to see an epic fucking contest. And, I don't know. We'll all sit back as fans and we will watch the outcome, man. And then we'll all play Monday Morning Quarterback. Obviously, we'll critique it. Or maybe WWE will shock us and it'll all be fucking done brilliantly. And we'll be talking about how great this was. Triple threat for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Of course it's triple threat. Well, why would we get creative? Why would we actually think there was actually number 1 contenders? That's weird. Number 1 contenders for a title? No. Everybody gets a shot. So we have Heavy Machinery and The New Day, both going after Daniel Bryan and Rowan's tag titles. What do you want me to talk about? It's a triple threat schmaz match. Okay. There's nothing to talk about. What is Extreme, by the way, so far? This is Extreme Rules. Unless I'm just not being read the stipulation. I don't see any Extreme stipulations so far in any of these matches. Anyway, the Raw Tag Team title match, that's going to be that's only 2 teams. The Usos taking on champions The Revival. This is the second in those 3 matches I was telling you about that could absolutely tear the roof off and tear the house down, I should say. One of them, again, being AJ Styles and Ricochet for the United States strap. The second of the 3, for me, is the Usos and Revival. If Vince can give them around 20 minutes and let these teams do what they do best, which is wrestle to the highest level, bro, this will be some NXT type shit. Shit that you would see at an NXT takeover. Vince just has to let them do what they do. Revival didn't get the titles that long ago either, so I don't see them dropping it to the Usos. Just like Styles, the Usos I see more than capable of getting the title Sunday. I just don't see how that makes sense. If they're champions, start building them up as champions. That way, when they lose the straps, it means more. You can't just play hot potato with these titles. And every single 3 or 4 weeks, the titles are changing hands. Sorry, I'm high on the Usos. I feel the Usos are the best tag team in wrestling today. But I have the Usos losing this match Sunday. The Revival has to start getting some momentum. They have to, and it starts in Philadelphia. The third of the 3 matches I think can try to steal the show and might even do such. The third one for me is Cesaro versus Aleister Black. Cesaro revealed himself as the mysterious knocker from a few weeks ago, and he sat down and you kind of saw Aleister and Cesaro side by side, and you kind of thought, again, just like Styles Ricochet and Usos and Revival, if Vince can give them around 20 minutes, Cesaro and Aleister Black will tear the roof off the place and tear the house down. I assure you, some NXT TakeOver type shit. He just has to let them go. Now, we've seen Aleister and Cesaro before on Raw in weird tag matches, but nothing to this level. At a pay-per-view, with a little bit of hype behind it, we could get something special here. Or Vince gives them 9 minutes and says, on to the next. And we're taking something that could be good, and we're totally tearing it down come Monday morning. Hopefully not. Match number 9 on this card is finally, we get some fucking, we get some stipulations. Extreme. Last man standing match, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley. We're hearing word that Paul Heyman is really high on Braun Strowman, and that Braun Strowman is set to get another major push. You guys know how I feel about Strowman. I was really high on him when they started pushing him over a year ago, and then they just stripped it away from him. We heard that Braun Strowman was coming to shows late. His behavior wasn't up to par with what a grown adult's behavior is supposed to be. And they said, you know what? You're being punished. They took his push away. And then they re-pushed him when they felt the time was right. And I guess things still weren't working out, so they took his push back. You go forward 2 steps, they took 10 steps back. They gave you 2 inches, they took you back 10 inches. So all of this start-stop with the pushes, they took people like the Amplified Man and we just said, no more. We're not believing in him anymore. Why should we? He's a monster 1 week, and then he's an absolute clown the next. Then he's a monster 2 weeks, a clown for 3 weeks. So we had enough. And I told you guys it was going to take a miracle for Braun Strowman to become relevant again for a lot of fans. I'm included. And I like Braun, so that sucks to say that. But it appears that Paul Heyman is going to attempt one more time to make Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's going to attempt to make Paul Heyman something. Paul Heyman is going to attempt to make Braun Strowman something. And we are hearing that he had his blueprint on that segment that you saw, Bobby Lashley and Braun going through the LED board. That was Paul Heyman's blueprint. So he's been working closely with this whole Braun Strowman thing. That's what we're hearing. So be prepared, guys. Braun Strowman is set for a major push again. And this... it would have to be it. You can't fuck this up. If he's late to shows, if he's still not mature enough, it's sink or swim. If you go full throttle with this guy one more time, you have to stick with him. Or fire him. But we can't keep playing this game of start, stop. Or, stop and go, stop and go. We can't. You're fucking with not just that, not just him, but you're fucking with the audience. Like, are we supposed to believe in this guy or not? This guy used to destroy everything in his sight backstage. He used to flip cars, trucks, ambulances, going through the LE board. He was involved in some of the best segments over the past year and a half. And then they kept just taking him back, man. And they book him like a clown. WrestleMania 33, and he's in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. WrestleMania 34, he's in a gimmick clown show tag match with Nicholas, a 4th grader or some shit. And they're winning tag titles with a 4th grader. That was his WrestleMania 34. And then WrestleMania 35 last year, he's back in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal just like WrestleMania 33. This guy isn't booked like a monster when it counts, when it matters. He's booked like a joke. So if Paul Heyman wants to get his blueprint on Braun Strowman, he better not fuck this up like Vince McMahon did. And I don't care if Braun Strowman fucks it up for himself. You stick with this guy or you fire this guy. There's no in between. He's a beast or he's not. He's a monster or he's not. As far as this match with Bobby Lashley, it starts there. I want to see these two just... what is it? It's a fucking last man standing. They should go all over the arena, backstage, maybe concessions, through another LED board. I don't even care. Beat the shit out of each other. And when it's all said and done, make Braun Strowman the last man standing. The last monster standing. Put your money where your mouth is. You're going to give him a push or not? It starts Sunday. At the expense of Bobby Lashley. Sorry, Bobby. Not sorry. And what we think is going to be the main event, if it's not the winners take all match with Becky and Seth, it's going to be the no holds barred match. Wow, extreme. The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. I don't give a fuck. Roman Reigns is with the Undertaker, so Philadelphia doesn't totally shit on Roman. We know this. This isn't me throwing shade. Go back and watch Roman in Philadelphia, and you will hear how much Philadelphia does not like Roman Reigns. So they had to put Roman in a tag team match in Philadelphia. And who better than The Undertaker? It probably isn't going to work. They tried to put The Rock with Roman in Philadelphia at the Royal Rumble. Remember that? The Rock got booed out of the building. You had to feel bad for The Rock. There's no way he could have known there was that much disdain between Philly and Roman. So, I mean, this could be a match where you got beach balls flying around, CM Punk chants, whatever. You know, so they got to be careful if they're going to put that in the main event. If I'm Vince, I'd put that at the beginning. No, I wouldn't even put that, because then you're setting the tone for people to just chant everything else. And people are going to get it in their mind to just hijack the show. I don't know where you put this match. I would leave it off the card if it was me, but they made the match. It's on the card. I don't know. You know what? That's their problem. They made their bed, now they got to lie in it. That's the Extreme Rules card. I don't have to talk any more about it because there's nothing more to talk about. I gave you guys 10 matches. 3 of them could be damn good wrestling matches, and we're hoping so. In fact, the Cruiserweight will as well. I was harsh on that Cruiserweight match, but it's just because I want to care about the individuals. And WWE gives us no reason to do such. But those are 4 matches that absolutely, wrestling-wise, could be amazing if Vince lets them be. Other than that, everything else is just a smorgasbord of bullshit, nonsense that you would see on Raw and SmackDown. And that's why I'm saying this has aspects of just being a glorified Raw and SmackDown. And I use the term glorified loosely, because I don't even know if it's deeming of that word, if it deserves a word like glorified. This looks like it could just be another Raw or SmackDown, but it's got glimpses, traces, match-wise more specifically, on what things that could be good. We'll see, man. We're all going to tune in, obviously, and hope for the best. It's just, you know, you can't hold your breath anymore with this shit. And one last thing, one last note for this preview is if it's called Extreme Rules, I'm looking at this card and I'm not seeing anything extreme. Last man standing, no holds barred. Those are the 2 big matches. All right. I don't see the... You know what I'm going to say, guys. To WWE, to Vince, to the suits and ties. That's the best you could do. That's the best you came up with. 617 writers, all your meetings around your little boardroom table in Stamford, Connecticut, and that's the best you could do. You gotta do better than that, man. You gotta do better than that. Should we take a frozen pizza and make it amplified? I'm excited about this. You want my own little cooking show. This is how it would be if I had a Food Network show. You guys want to check it out? It's rhetorical. You got to check it out. It's coming up right now. All right, so you start off with a little bit of mushrooms. Just, you know, a little bit of fucking Wegmans or whatever your local supermarket. You get these little mushrooms. They're fucking perfect. You put these in any meal you want. Make sure you wash those little bastards, though. I grab about 2 of them. Put them right in there. So you got 2 little mushrooms. Again, this is just for a little DiGiorno. Little fucking personal size. Take an onion. I already got a bag of chopped up onion. I put onions in just about everything, man. Great antioxidant. Very fucking healthy. I'll tell you what I'll do here. Take a little bit of fucking onion, plop that shit down. I got the Yankee game on in the main room, guys. So if you hear me screaming and yelling, that's my fucking Yankees. Not doing what they should be doing. And the pepper, I already got a pepper in a bag, just a green pepper. Take that shit. Just break off a slice, actually. Take a piece of that shit. There you go. Piece of fucking pepper. Maybe even a little more. Fuck it. We're not driving the rest of the night, right? So there you go, guys. Get a little bit of that. Now we get a fucking knife and the fun part begins, right? We chop that shit up. Gotta get one of these real sharp bad boys. Now, listen, guys. I'm not the best fucking cutter. I'm not a professional. I'm not a sous chef. I just cut these up into little pieces, alright? I have no method. Hold on, we don't want this piece. Fuck is this? Get the fuck out of here. What is that? I don't like that. So we're gonna do away with that. Now this is what I do, guys. I have no fucking method. As long as it's in little pieces, we're fucking good. Chop that shit up. There you go. Boom. Boom. And boom. Now I don't think we're gonna fit all of this. Again, this is just a little personal size DiGiorno, so not all of this is gonna fit on the pizza, but I'd rather have more than not have enough. Because that's happened to me way too many times. And then the leftovers, I just fucking eat, you know? Get this over here. Alright, right there, that's enough. For some reason, I had a lot of extra pepper. Alright, you know what? That's more than enough. Let's stop this now. You'd be thinking it's a full fucking pizza. But with all the add-ons, guys, even though it's just a personal pizza, if you add on a bunch of shit and you just watch later how much cheese I put on this, this is a full-fledged adult meal, I'm telling you. A cheap meal or just a fucking full-fledged meal in general. You can thank me later, man. This could be a lunch or a full dinner. Alright, so for those of you making fun of my cutting skills, I tried to tell you, alright? I don't have any fucking method. I never went to a culinary school. Alright? I didn't grow up in a kitchen making meals my whole fucking life. I was too busy in the bar rooms drinking too many fucking beers. I should have been cooking more. There you go. I don't like all that shit, though. Sorry, guy, you gotta go. Right now, guys, as I'm doing this, the oven is preheating. You gotta preheat this to 400 degrees for this pizza, and then once that is preheated, then you can go ahead and put everything on the fucking pizza and pop that son of a bitch in. I think that's enough mushrooms. I know anybody who's a cook out there, man, all those ladies especially, man, that cook all the time. Not that men don't too, but I know a lot of the women in my life, they really love to cook, enjoy it. You're all making fun of me right now. I got you. You can make fun of me all you want, but you know what? The finished product is going to look amazing. My fucking onion. Cooks and chefs right now are cringing right now at the way I'm doing this. Alright, so here we go. We got this. Boom. A little bit of boom. A little bit of how you doing. There you go. As long... It's the end game, you know? That's all that matters. As long as it's in little pieces... Or little enough, anyway. You gotta wait anyway. To get the 400 degrees, it takes about a good 5 minutes at least. So as long as you got the time, who's in a rush? I think that's a little enough, right? A little smaller would have been nice, but... There you go. I think that's fucking good, no? Maybe one more piece there. There you go. That's good. You guys are leftovers. You got to go. So there you go, guys. That's my chopped up little bit, right? It's a little something. You got a little pile of peppers. You got a little pile of onions. You got a little pile of mushrooms. Now, once this bad boy preheats, you're about to see us put this masterpiece together. Put the pieces of the puzzle together. And it's gonna start to really come together, and you're really, when it's all said and done, I'm telling you, your mouths are gonna be watering. Trust me. Alright guys, so that's the DiGiorno I'm talking about. Just a regular personal size stuffed crust. It has to be stuffed crust. The more cheese, the better. 4 cheese and stuffed crust. You can't beat that shit. So pop that bad boy right out. Throw that box away. Alright, comes in a little bit of a plastic, so give me a second. We gotta throw the plastic out. I'm still with you. Oh, you guys heard that buzzer? That means it has reached 400 degrees. So we're ready to fucking rock. First, we gotta spray down that pan. Make sure it doesn't stick with a little bit of Pam. I'm not getting paid by any of these companies, just so you guys know. Nobody's paying me. You take your fucking pizza, look at that cheese just go over. Don't worry, we're not losing any. Pop that right there. We're going to put a lot more on in a second, guys. Don't you worry. So come over. Come on a little closer. Don't be afraid. Check this bad boy out. We'll come closer to you. Alright, so there you go, guys. Now what we're going to do... Hold on. You got to actually really see this. Yeah. Try to get this a little better for you guys here. Maybe if I go this way. There you go. Is that a little better? You guys need to see the masterpiece, man. So first, we sprinkle on some of the onions. Alright? You can do it any way you want. I like to put on the fucking onions. Personally. And you just smolder it with the fucking onions, man. You ain't gotta leave a square inch if you don't want to. A fucking centimeter. You just bombard it with onions. It's gonna take... I know, some people are like, hey, that's too many onions, BC. No. You guys are gonna see. It's gonna be amazing when it's all said and done, man. It's gonna... Every single bite is going to be fucking magnificent. Every onion is gonna play its part beautifully. I assure you. Alright. Look at those peppers we're putting on now, man. Look at that shit, huh? That's right. Put that little leaving up over there. Now some mushrooms. Gotta put the mushrooms up on there. I like to put the mushrooms... I got a little bit of an order, you know. Onions, then the peppers. And then you put the mushrooms on there. There you go. All my boys get on. All my boys get to ride the ride. There you go. We even put some more fucking peppers. Well, again, we ain't driving the rest of the night, so we're good. Alright, and there you go, guys. Hopefully you can fucking see that, right? Get a little bit of a closer look. Look at that shit. Look at that. Not bad, right? Now, again, this is still fucking... This pizza's still frozen. We just put the veggies on. Onions and whatnot. Now, here comes a really fun part. You guys ready? Let me wash my hands. Hold on. Give me a second. I don't know what just happened on the game, but something happened. We just knocked out their pitcher. Let me clean up a little bit here. I ain't gonna lie. I dropped a little bit more cheese than I wanted to, but don't worry, because check it out. We're about to do all of this cheese, guys. All of this fucking cheese. Look at all this. Alright, first I take the regular Sargento cheese, alright? This is just a fucking... These are sliced pieces of cheese. So I crack that bad boy. Take out one slice. Boom. Just one slice. Close that up. And what I do, guys, is I peel it, and I'm going to put this over. All of this, don't forget, is all... Let me push this back. All of this is stuffed crust, guys. So what I'm going to do is I put it over the crust. So now, not only is it stuffed crust, but it's going to have a whole fucking wad of cheese on top of the stuffed crust. Come on, man. You'd be fucking giving me high fives and hugging the shit out of me right now if you were here. You know it. Because that is brilliant. All the way around the edge with a Sargento sliced cheese. Now, guys, now what we do is we take the regular kebab cheese, right? The shredded. This is the 5 cheese Italian. We're going to put that right over the fucking veggies, guys. Right over the veggies. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. That's my fucking shredded cheese theme. That's right, I got a theme. Alright, a little bit more there. Yeah, look at that. We're not done. We're not done, guys. You go to any Trader Joe's and you get your fucking quattro formaggio, huh? Or formaggio, as most people like to call it. But you take this. This is another type of shredded cheese. This is perfect for like tortellini soups. Boom. You put that right in the middle, guys. Just a little bit right in the middle. Right in the middle. Okay, maybe that's a little more than a little bit, but that's a lot of bit. But the taste, wow, man. It is like a fucking salted cheese. My mouth's watering already. Oh, I fucked up, guys. I usually put in the fucking ham. Should we do the ham? I already messed up. Usually I take a slice of ham and I chop that son of a bitch up, and it works beautifully, but you have to do it with the veggies. With the peppers, with the mushrooms, with the onions. You just chop up a slice of ham, and then you put the cheese over it. So it looks like I'm gonna miss out on that opportunity. That would have been fucking amazing. My bad. But here we go. This is pre-oven. Alright, my buddy. I will see you in 17 and a half minutes. Check you later. Finished product is upon us. Take this bad boy out. Almost 18 minutes later. What? Holla at your boy the Amplified Man, will you, huh? Holla at your boy the Amplified Man. Look at that. Oh, stop. Stop. Bro. Oh. Oh, look at the edges. Golden brown cheese. Remember that cheese? Remember that provolone, guys? Remember the provolone we put on top of the stuffed crust? Look at it now. It's a golden layer of drizzling, mouth-watering fucking cheese. Look at the cheese drizzled over the fucking veggies. I told you. That's BC's Amplified DiGiorno Pizza. I know. Don't you ding at me. I already got it, son of a bitch. Anyway. Check it out! Alright, now I gotta eat this, guys. Check you later. Guess I can show you guys how I cut this bad boy. Actual dish. There we go. Actually, you know what? Slide that bad boy right on. And then, what I like to do is I like to cut it up in fours. Rather than just take it all down, which you can, but I like to see the cheese just fucking drooling off of every fucking piece of this thing. There you go. Look at that, huh? Boom. Look at that fucking cheese, brah. And there it is, guys, the finished product. That is how you take a regular DiGiorno and you get it amplified. Alright, now I gotta go eat it. Check. And in case you're wondering, that's how I do my grilled cheese as well, man. Lots of mushrooms, onions, peppers. This time, we got the fucking Hillshire honey ham. So we're gonna put that bitch right in the middle with about 4 different cheeses. We go big, baby. We go amplified. Oh, BC. I just love when you slip your stuffed crust DiGiorno deep into my preheated oven and the drizzling, mouth-watering goodness that comes out afterwards. Turns my southern bells right on.